We're going to talk about BYU versus Clemson. Just when Clemson thought they were going to head into overtime, they had it right there. They even though they played bad in the second half, they tied it. They lose in heartbreaking fashion because Robert Wright III hits an insane
big
game
shot.
winner.
That was crazy, dude.
I said on the last episode that I think Clemson's a really solid team, and I really think that they proved it against BYU.
You called it.
What's crazy is they ended the first half on a 21-0 run.
That's unacceptable if you're BYU.
Yeah. When you hear that, you're like, okay, this game is probably over.
I thought it was.
I thought it was too. And I was like, dang, this is not a good look for me. I've already had a few bad takes, but this one was probably this would have been like the worst one so far, probably. But Clemson got outscored 45-21 in the second half.
Yeah, that's bad.
And AJ Dybantsa outscored the Clemson's offense by himself. He had 22 in the second half.
In the second half, yeah.
So it's just like, man, I don't know what happened to Clemson, but I maybe give credit to BYU a little bit. Maybe they figured out their scheme and played a little bit better on the defensive end. At least it seems like it, because
they definitely did.
You gave up 43 points in the first half, and you only gave up 21 in the second half. So that's really impressive. But AJ Dybantsa, just an incredible player, has to be the best freshman this year. It's just,
I don't know how he can't be the front runner. I mean, that dunk was insane, dude. And that down the stretch there with like a couple minutes left. I mean, a freak of an athlete.
It's insane. What are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, like I said in our other streams before they went out yesterday, you called it. You know, I was not that high on Clemson, and it's simply because when they played Alabama, you know, Bama was missing 3 players, 2 starters and a key bench player, and Bama just was boat racing them in the first half. You know, they were up by 15 at half. They kind of cut into that lead. I think it was like 22 at one point in the first half, Alabama beating Clemson, and they fought back in it, you know, and I guess made the excuse again, you know, Bama didn't have their full set of players and it would have been different had they, but maybe not, you know, so credit to them for fighting back in that Bama game. And like you said, I didn't see it against BYU.
Yeah.
And I just didn't see them fighting the way they did. Man, they took it to BYU. Why are you moving your camera, bro?
Sorry, I'm not trying to. My hand slipped.
Oh, no problem. But you're right, man. Clemson's a good team, and I think they're going to compete in the ACC.
Oh, yeah. I think so as well.
I think at their best, they can even beat Duke and Louisville. But where they're at right now, I think they're kind of going to be in like the middle of the middle tier. Yeah. So like there's the top tier of Duke and Louisville, middle tier of like Virginia, Clemson, North Carolina, maybe a couple other teams. And then the bottom tier of the ACC. It's not that great.
Yeah, I think it drops off pretty heavily after those 5 teams.
What worries me about Clemson is like that's now 2 games in a row against quality opponents where you're a complete no-show in one half. Yeah. Like against Alabama, you didn't show up in the first half. You dug yourself a huge hole. Now you climbed out of it, but you still lost. And then against BYU, you're a no-show in the second half. I mean, nothing. I think, Dalton, I meant to say this last time we did this, but I wanted to say, like, with just 4 or 5 minutes left, maybe less, Clemson had 11 points in the second half. Like in the first 15 minutes or more. Now they hit some big shots down the stretch. They hit like 2 or 3 threes, like down the stretch with like a couple minutes.
That's so bad.
But I mean, they were just, that's not sustainable to have halves where you go completely dark. So again, at their best, if they put 2 halves together like they did in that one half against Bama and one half against BYU, they put a whole game together, they're dangerous.
Yeah.
But that also means you probably have in you a performance where you're bad in both halves and you just get destroyed by somebody or you get beat by somebody you're not supposed to get beat by. Yeah. So there's a high variance with this team, I think, but at their best, this is a dangerous team. And I wouldn't want to run into them in the tournament, you know, like the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, and they're definitely going to make it. Clemson's always going to be a tournament team.
Yeah, they're a good team.
They're a solid team. Their coach has had a really good team,
Brad Brownell.
Yeah, has had a really good run the last few years. I mean,
great coach.
Made it to the Elite Eight a few years ago when Bama beat them. Bama beat them in the Elite Eight to go to the Final Four.
And they had beaten Bama in the regular season.
Yes.
So that was like a payback game for Bama, but they would have went to the Final Four. They had a good team. That team was really good.
That team was really, really good. Yeah. And he's turned over a lot of players. If you remember 2 years ago, the roster is completely different. And he's only bringing, if I remember correctly, they said he's only bringing one starter back from last year.
Yeah, it's RJ Godfrey, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Or maybe it was two then, because I think it was Dylan Hunter. His the
other guy's brother. Last year's team?
Yeah, last year's team, he only brought back one starter. But no, but Dylan Hunter's still on the team. He has a brother that was something Hunter. I can't remember his name.
Oh, I don't remember Dylan. Was that his name?
No, that's a guy on the Clemson's team this year, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of last year. My bad.
Last year, he was on the team. His brother was on the team.
Okay. Yeah. That dude's good. That dude was good.
Yeah. But he's just turned over a lot of players in these last few years. And it's hard to, Dylan Hunter's the guy on the team this year, but I can't remember the guy's name last year. Maybe Chase Hunter?
Chase. It's Chase.
Okay.
Good player. Really good player.
He was a really good player. And they had Ian Shiflin last year as well. Or Shefflin, however you pronounce it. He was a great power forward. But their teams are always going to be pretty solid. And I think Clemson is going to compete in the ACC as well.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts about this game before we dig into the next one?
Yes, I wanted to say something about BYU real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
First of all, this is kind of a good thing and a bad thing. Dybonsa is one of those players that can carry you really far. Like, he is so good. He had 28 points, 22 in the second half. Like we said, outscored Clemson on his own. Just a freak of a performance in that second half. I think he's clearly the front runner for the freshman of the year. What I worry about is if they do something like this again and they throw it all on his shoulders and he's not hitting his shots, he's not as on fire as he was last night in the second half, then what do you do? Like, who do you turn to? As good as Richie Saunders is and as good as Keba Kada is and other players, I don't know if they can carry you like Dybonsa can. And here's the issue. What if we're putting too much on his shoulders? Yeah. I mean, he's a young guy. I know he would say, "Oh, I'm ready for it. Like, I can do whatever," and that's fine. You want that type of attitude, but like, will they put too much on his shoulders? That's something that I could see happening. And like, also you gotta worry about, like, they have that within them to have a half where you score 22 points and you look abysmal. Like,
that's really bad.
Everybody thought the game was over, so their offense wasn't clicking. Their defense wasn't clicking, but man, they got it together in that second half. It's just now putting it together to have a consistent 40 minutes.
Yeah. We talked about last night how it kind of reminded me of Cooper Flagg and the games that came down to the wire with Duke last year.
Yeah.
They handed him the ball and said, "Hey, we need you to go get us a bucket." And multiple times he turned the ball over. And I'm not saying that it's because he couldn't handle the pressure, but it's because everyone knew the ball was going to that guy.
Yeah.
They didn't have to worry about the ball going to someone else because they knew it was going to this guy. And that's the same thing with BYU.
Well,
Kevin Young is going to be like, "All right, give the ball to AJ Dybonsa."
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? It's just a matter of making the big shot when it counts.
Exactly.
But last night, Robert Wright was the one who did it.
Yeah.
So they got that too. Now, we talked about Clemson in the ACC. Let me talk about BYU in the Big 12 real quick. Yeah. We know this is a loaded conference, but listen to this 10-game stretch, Dalton, for BYU. I predict they're going to struggle.
Yeah.
In this 10-game stretch in particular. Number 16, Texas Tech. That's a pretty tough game at Texas Tech. Utah, I think you're going to handle them. Arizona, number 1, Arizona, and then Kansas back-to-back. And that's at Kansas. You're playing Kansas at Kansas. Then you've got Oklahoma State. Think you can handle them. Houston coming to town. Then Baylor and Colorado, I think you can handle them. Then back-to-back at Arizona, and then you got Iowa State at home.
Yeah.
That's a really tough 10-game stretch. I mean, you're looking at Iowa State, Arizona twice, Houston, Texas Tech, and Kansas, right? Like, I could see out of those 6 games against those ranked opponents, you go 2-4, 3-3, maybe even worse. I mean, like, those are the Big 12 is insane.
It's really
that
good
is a tough schedule.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how they'll do against these top teams because they've had close calls.
Villanova,
Dayton barely beat those teams.
That's true.
So
Yeah,
Anyway, so barely beat
they're really
Clemson.
gonna have to start. They're really gonna have to start getting it together and start like I don't know. It's like the offense hasn't 100% clicked yet in these bigger games.
Yes.
So that's gonna have to happen down the stretch, or my prediction is gonna fall flat big time.
But
So
they did show they competed with UConn. They lost by 2 points.
yeah,
So, I
yeah,
mean, like, on the top end, they can compete with anybody, but on the bottom end, you could lose to a Dayton or a Villanova. That
yeah,
Villanova just got crushed by Michigan by
yeah.
30.
As I say, Villanova's not
So,
good this year.